So, shall we give it a try? Hey guys, and welcome to the Super Bowl. No, I'm just kidding. This is not the Super Bowl. But today, I'm going to show you one of my favorite Super Bowl dishes, my kumquat-and-sriracha-glazed chicken wings. Now, I'm not the biggest sports fanatic, but when it comes to the Super Bowl or any game day event, the thing that I enjoy the most is the food. It's the one day of the year where I don't feel guilty at all eating all the, I don't know, what do you want to call it, junk food that's available. So whether it's the salsa and chips, the potato skins, the potato chips, all the different dips, and definitely the chicken wings. But today, this is not really a junk food recipe that I'm going to show you. This is kind of like, I would say, like an elevated Eastern influenced chicken wing recipe. Since citrus season is in full swing right now, you can get kumquats in many of the markets. So these little guys are gonna go into my sweet and spicy glaze, and they're gonna cook down and become just like a marmalade. And now, many people wonder about kumquats. Maybe they don't even know what they are. But basically, they're one of the smallest citrus fruits. They come from Asia. They've been around for centuries. They only made it to Europe and the West in like the 1800s. There's no part of this that you cannot eat. The whole thing is edible, even the rind. And the crazy thing is that it's the rind that's actually sweet, and it's the fruit inside that's tart. So it's like the opposite of what you would expect. So here, let me show you what it tastes like. It's sweet, it's tangy, it's a little bit bitter. It really reminds me of marmalade, but in like this fresh form. So for this coming Super Bowl Sunday, get together your family and friends and feed them this wonderful recipe of kumquat and sriracha glazed chicken wings. I think you're gonna have a hit on your hands. So let's get started on the recipe. So to start, I'm going to toss my wings in a spice rub. And for that, I have a tablespoon of coriander, a tablespoon of cumin, a tablespoon of paprika, and a teaspoon of salt. And I'll also be grinding in some black pepper. Now, normally if I were in the States, I would roast these on 2 baking sheets in the oven, but here in Europe, the ovens are much smaller, so I'll be roasting these in 2 batches. So I'm gonna do the rub coating here in the tray just to save on cleanup. So I don't wanna do it in a bowl per se, but you can. The recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of oil altogether, but since I'm doing this in 2 batches, I'm just going to do maybe 1 tablespoon. And so that I keep myself nice and clean, I'll be putting on some gloves. So, ready for the operation. Okay, and then from the spice rub, I only want to use half of it because I want to save the other half for the second batch. Okay, and I'm just gonna make sure that everything's coated in this wonderful aromatic spice mixture. And I've had the oven preheating at 200 degrees Celsius, but if you're in the States, you would want to do this at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is looking pretty good. And now we want to lay them out in a single layer. I'm going to use my tongs as well. And now this is going into the oven for 45 minutes exactly, and it'll be really, really nice and tender and crispy. So now while the chicken wings are in the oven, I'm going to prepare the glaze. So I'm going to preheat this pan to about medium heat. And to this, I'm going to add my quarter cup of water, my half an orange juiced, half a lime juiced, my tablespoon of grated ginger, and I have 8 ounces or a half pint of very thinly sliced kumquats. And I also have a tablespoon of sugar. So we're going to juice the citruses into here. Now to get all the grated ginger out of my little fish, what I'll usually like to do is pour the water over it, and that'll get it all out of the little grating parts. Now the kumquats and a tablespoon of sugar. And you want to cook this down for up to 30 minutes. It really should become very jammy, just like marmalade. So this is perfect because while the wings cook, which is about 45 minutes, this glaze will be done about the same time. Once the glaze is completely cooked down, that's when I'll add the additional ingredients, which include the sesame oil, the fish sauce, the soy sauce, and my favorite, sriracha. So in the meantime, I'm going to bring this mixture up to a boil and then reduce it down to a low simmer and let it cook down. So as you can see, our kumquat marmalade in air quotes has cooked down nicely. It's really nice and jammy. I've been stirring it every so often to make sure it doesn't scorch. And now's a good time to add the rest of our condiments to it. I'm going to add my fish sauce, my sesame oil, my soy sauce, and my sriracha. I'm going to need to give this a helping hand. And the wings still need about 15 minutes, so until then, this wonderful glaze is ready for them when they come out. I'm going to remove my first batch of wings. I'm going to add them to this bowl here because this is what I'm going to toss the glaze in. And now here's where our wings get their treatment in this beautiful glaze that I have here. So I'm going to count on adding half of this. And we're going to give it a nice toss. And now the way I like to serve these is I get a big bowl or like a basket, line it with some parchment paper like this, and I'll just add the wings to that. And to decorate the top, some cilantro. And a good squeeze of lime. And this is your bowl that you can take out to your family and friends while they're watching the game. And then there's the other batch in the oven. Bring out a second bowl. This way no one's fighting over that one bowl of wings. And here are our kumquat-and-sriracha-glazed chicken wings. Now, I am very excited because wings are some of my favorite parts of the chicken, especially when they're crispy and unctuous and coated in a wonderful glaze like this. So I'm going to try not to be a pig and eat these very nicely. So good. Now I'll take one of the other wing parts. Eating wings is not very appealing to watch, but now you get to watch me. And the great thing about these wings too is they're not too spicy, so if you have family members or young children who can't take the heat, this is perfect because it's just this nice mellow heat. Some nice kumquat pieces on here. It has such a nice exotic flavor, this glaze. The kumquats, they just kind of transport you to the east with this really unique citrusy flavor and very aromatic, by the way. And adding the soy sauce and the sesame oil, the fish sauce and the sriracha, it really gives it this East Asian feel. Now this one has a lot of kumquat on it. So this Super Bowl Sunday, if you're looking for a dish to really impress your family and friends, and you want something that's a little bit different, not the average or not the usual, I highly recommend you try these kumquat-and-sriracha-glazed chicken wings. They transport you to totally exotic places with this flavor profile. So I hope you try this recipe, which is linked in the description below. Let me know what you think about it. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you again for watching.